May this message lead you to a deep reflection on the processes and tools of self-transformation provided by the renowned yogi Sadhguru. If you want to start your yoga journey with Sadhguru, click on the link in the description of this video and learn more.
What you said sounds almost identical to what the founder and the CEO of OpenAI, who made ChatGPT, which is leading the way at the moment, said literally yesterday in an interview he did. He said, if we can get people to a point where they don't have to worry about tedious jobs, then they can live these blissful lives.
We'll do one thing. We'll remove all the earth-moving machines and everything. Give everybody a pickaxe and a crowbar and a spade. Let them all go back to the mines and construction everywhere. Let them start doing physically. Will they protest or no?
They will protest.
That's what will happen in 50 years' time. If you ask them to multiply, they'll protest. That's what I said the first moment I saw the calculator, I said, what is this nonsense? Why am I doing all this when I can do tuk here?
The counter-argument to that is that people need a sense of purpose,
that is
something to strive for.
You need a false purpose to live because you have not even made an attempt to understand what this life is about, what its potential is about. You need a false purpose. You go and dig in the mine and it's your purpose. And then you produce two children. Putting bread on the table is a big purpose to your life. Silliest way to live for a human being.
That's how most people live.
Unfortunately, that's the kind of world we have created.
And the world that if you could wave a wand now and create a different world, which I know you're trying to do. In fact, you're building a city in America, right? You're part of a project. This is why I find it so fascinating, because I look at the way we've designed society and it's so stubborn in the way we've designed it. I often wonder if we're going to have to go back to a blank canvas and redesign it again from the ground up.
That's never going to happen. Where is a blank canvas? How do you create a blank canvas? That's never going to happen.
The desert somewhere?
You have to slowly see. The thing is, this happened. Can I tell you a joke?
Please.
One day a cardiologist, a famous cardiologist, a doctor, went because he was driving an Aston Martin and it gives trouble, He went to the garage and the mechanic said, yes, doctor, leave the car here, evening I'll have it ready. The doctor took the taxi and went to the hospital and came back in the evening. The mechanic had not even touched it. Then I said, hey, why is it not ready? Oh, no, doc, that. Tomorrow morning I'll have it ready for you. Tomorrow morning he came, car was not ready. I said, hey, what are you trying to do? Why is it that you're not doing? Then mechanic said, see, I fix your engine, you pay me 500 pounds. But you fix somebody's heart and they pay you 50,000 pounds. Why is that? You fixing an engine, I'm fixing an engine. Doctor said, try to fix it when it's running. If you could demolish everything and rebuild, it's very easy. The thing is, you have to rebuild it when it's on. That is the whole challenge, isn't it? That goes for individual human being, that goes for the society, that goes for the world. We have to rebuild it when it's still functioning. After you demolish means, are you inviting a nuclear holocaust so that later on we can rebuild it?
It's not a good idea.
No, that's not what we want.
And that's why the practice that you described matters, because
it doesn't matter even if you're manning a nuclear bomb. Let's say it's your job to press the button, you're waiting there. If you are miserable, frustrated, depressed, even without a command you may press if it was in your hand, sometimes it may happen. But if you're joyful, blissful, naturally you look… See, this is something people don't understand. People think love brings them happiness. It's not true. If you're very joyful, you will look upon everything in a loving manner. Because what you call as joy, love, let me put it this way. If your body becomes pleasant, we call this health. You want it?
Yes.
If it becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure. You want it?
Yes.
If your mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace. You want it? Only to create pleasantness in your surroundings do you need the cooperation of various people and many forces around you. But to create pleasantness in your body, mind, emotion and energy is 100% your business. If you were the only person on this planet, would you know whether you're good or bad?
I wouldn't know.
So it is only by comparison that you know that you're good. But if you are the only person on this planet, if you were joyful, would you know you're joyful?
Yes.
That's important.
So you're saying focus on joy and how we feel versus good or bad?
No, I'm not saying focus on joy. I'm just saying you understand this. Your interiority can happen 100% your way if you're willing. External things will not happen 100% our way. We have to strive. Some things happen our way, many things don't happen our way. But internally, if you're happening your way, you will keep yourself very pleasant. When you're pleasant, we can expect pleasant things from you. When you're unpleasant, I expect pleasant things from you. Where is it going to happen? People, in the name of religion, in the name of love, in the name of caring, they've done terrible things, isn't it? Most horrendous things have been done.
A question I've often asked myself is, you talked about like fake purpose a second ago. How do I know if because when you interview people and you say like, what's your purpose or what's your mission? They'll sit here and they'll give me lots of things, right? Some of them might be, oh, I want to
No,
help
I'm
people.
just fooling around, I have no mission.
No, not you. I'm saying you ask a kid on the street, what's your mission? Younger kids these days will say they want to save the world or they want to be a public speaker or they want to be a YouTuber. Do you view those as fake ambitions from confused people?
See, I did not say fake ambitions. The thing is, you're making up a purpose to bring some meaning to your life.
Yeah.
What you need to understand is, life is a phenomena beyond all meanings. Meanings is an ailment of your mind. Only human mind needs meanings. Sun comes up in the morning, doesn't need a meaning. Full moon out there, doesn't need a meaning. Tide
we give it a
doesn't
meaning.
need a meaning. Only place where you need a meaning is your head. Your mind needs a meaning. Why? Have you seen this? You've been at some point, at least for moments, you've been very joyful, blissed out. You've been… At that time, do you ask what is the meaning of life?
No.
No, only when you're miserable, it's important. So you create one problem and then you create another problem and another problem and you think it's a solution? No. Meaning is a serious problem. Meaning has become meaningful for somebody only because they're in some way distressed. The process of life and the experience of life has become burdensome. Why am I carrying this? I want a meaning for the burden that I'm bearing. If life was a blissful process, why would you care what is the meaning?
So when people must ask you all the time, what's the meaning of life? And you must then… does that suggest that they are absent of bliss?
See, this meaning problem is a very Western problem. In the Eastern world, we don't ask for meaning. We are always looking for profoundness of life.
What's the difference?
The difference is digging deeper into yourself and creating something around your head are two different things.
Meaning is looking outside for a reason.
Outside or inside doesn't matter, but you're trying to build a psychological solution to an existential reality.
And you have to accept that existential reality.
The existential reality is, you don't know where the hell you came from.
And I don't know where I'm going.
And you don't know where you're going. You're just here for a brief amount of time and you think you're the center of the world. That means you must be very religious, because it's the religious people who went on propagating that this planet is the center of the universe. Though in India, for over 6,000 years, people have known planet is round and it goes around the sun. Clearly, there are drawings and there are books, there are documents which clearly say that. But people who are following dogmatic religious processes, they propagated that this is the center of the universe. Now, will they say we said what is wrong and apologize for that? No, because when I think I am the center of the universe, I will be doing so many idiotic things. You must apologize if you are the one who taught me that nonsense.
So life doesn't have a
Let me
birth
tell you,
given
this
meaning.
happened. There was a bishop in Istanbul. At that time it was Constantinople. You know, I'm not trying to insult any community, but this actually happened, so I'm quoting the thing. In 1924, this bishop was part of the Greek Orthodox Church. Very orthodox church, and he's a bishop, so all his life he's a man of cloth, he was there. But being in Istanbul, you know, all these exotic stories come wafting across the Bosphorus from India about the mystics, about the yogis, about many things. India is full of stories like this. And for ages, these things have been coming and excited people to travel to the east, all this stuff. So he always wanted to go to India and meet a real yogi or a mystic. But being a man of cloth, he couldn't decide where he goes and doesn't go. When he was over 60 years of age, he got an opportunity to go to India. He went to southern India and found a good guide who could guide him. And the guide took him and said, see, on this particular mountain, if you go this way, this way, this way, he gave all the landmarks. If you go there, there's a cave, there is a yogi, that is the man you're looking for. So our bishop went all the way up. Mountains are not kind to people who lived in churches or in indoors, you know. They don't care who you are, they trouble you, so with great difficulty he went up. When he went to that place, just outside the cave, a yogi was sitting totally blissed out with his eyes closed. So the bishop had heard that if you see a yogi, you must prostrate before him. So he went down and he was not fit for those kind of postures, but with great difficulty he went down, huffing, puffing, he stood up again. Hearing all the commotion, the yogi opened his eyes and smiled. Then the bishop asked, can I ask you a question? This is the first introduction. The yogi laughed and said, well, by all means you can ask a question. Then the bishop asked, what is life? See, as a human being, you have the intelligence to ask this question when you were 8 years of age. Well, in your childishness you missed it. At least when you were 16, you should have asked. Definitely you have the intelligence to ask that question. But now you're well over 60, now you're asking, what is life? But it's okay, it's better late than never, you know. So when he said that, yogi went into raptures. Life is like the fragrance of jasmine, upon the gentle spring breeze. The bishop said, what? Fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze? My teacher told me, life is like a thorn. Once it gets into you, if you sit it hurts, if you stand it hurts, if you lie down it hurts. And you are saying it is like the fragrance of jasmine upon gentle spring breeze. Then the yogi laughed and said, well, that's his life. You must understand, your experience of life is determined by you. It's your choice.
The last thing I wanted to ask you about is a campaign you've recently been putting a lot of effort into, which is the Save Soil campaign. I want to know why you're doing that and why that message and campaign is so important for all of us.
One important element of why human beings will become mentally ill in the next 15 to 20 years, lot of people are estimating there may not be a single family left without one mentally ill person at least. That's what they're saying. So this mental illness, why? See, one thing is, in the last 100 years of industrial level of agriculture, one thing that's happened is, we are only seeing soil as a resource. Soil is not a resource, it's your source. It is the source of your life. It is the largest living substance or system on the planet. If you take a handful of soil, it has 8 to 10 billion organisms in it. It is the most intense life and the largest living system, not just on the planet, in the known universe. It is the largest living system. But still, Over 80% of the nations are treating soil as a resource which they think they can fix it by adding a chemical or take away a chemical. Let me come to this very quickly. What is the problem? See, if today all the insects disappear from this planet, in another 2.5 to 4 years, all life on this planet, including you and me and plant life, everything will be gone. Insects go away. If all the worms go away today, in the next 1.5 to 2 years or 2.5 years, all life on this planet will be extinct. If all the microbes go away, we both of us disappear within the next few seconds. This is the reality. They are the foundational life. We are the cherry on the cake. Right now, average loss of microbial life is like this: 27,000 species of organisms are going extinct per year. 27,000 species are going extinct per year. At this rate, it's estimated in the next 25 to 40 years, we will come to a place where it'll be very difficult for human beings to find basic nourishment on the planet. First thing that will collapse is your software. That's what you're seeing in terms of psychological ailments. That's not the only reason. All those things are there, but the most important thing is lack of nourishment. Just to give you a perspective, some studies are being done in California. What they are saying is, in 1920, if you ate one orange, what nutrients you got from that? If you want that today, you need to eat 8 oranges. Has there been a day when you ate 8 oranges in a day? No. This goes for everything else. You are eating empty food which doesn't have richness. Just look at the Google map. Don't go by what I say. Just look at the Google map of the world. How many green patches, how many brown patches? It is terrifying.
We have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest leaves a question for the next guest, not knowing who they're going to leave the question for.
Who was that guy?
I can't tell you. It's a secret. That question to you, not knowing who it was for, they didn't know it was for you, is what in your heart of hearts matters to you?
I have only one heart, that also I gave away long time ago. Heart of hearts, I don't have all those things. I broke my heart into 1,000,000 pieces and threw it away in the world. I live not because of my values. I live not because of my morality. I live not because of some commandments from somewhere. I live out of my humanity.
Thank you.